Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to this special edition of Three Bells. Whew, what a day, and what a show we have lined up for you tonight. What are we talking about tonight? Well, first of all, we'd like to continue to say happy Royal Rumble to everyone out there. That's right, Royal Rumble is tomorrow, and tonight is Royal Rumble Eve. So, what are we talking about? Yes, we're going to recap SmackDown, but man, we got some news clips from you, including some news clips that's fresh at our desk during today's SmackDown episode. We got a couple birthday shout outs. We're going to talk a little Rumble. Hey, we got so much to talk about, as well as hot takes. But first, let's say what's up to the fellas at the table. Let's say what's up to Destaker, aka Des Mundo, aka Des Mondes Ford. What's going on, Mr. AKA?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I like to channel my Stephen A. Smith. Let's go. We got a lot to do. We got a lot to deal with. This has been a crazy Royal Rumble week. I'm ready to go. What's up, Shane O'Mac? What's good, my guy?
That's what's up. That's what's up. What's good, aka What's good? And sitting next to him is our historian, our Google.com guy of WWE. Say what's up, y'all, to Triple J. J, what's good, baby?
Happy late night, everybody. Let's get it for this weekend. I'm so hyped. I'm so ready to be doing this with you guys for our first ever PLE weekend. Let's get it. Yeet.
Yeet, yeet. That's right. Let's get it. Let's go. And with that being said, let us start this jam packed show. Wait a minute. That's not how it goes. Okay, let's do that. Let's start Three Bells, y'all. So on Tuesday, we had an awesome NXT show that was hosted by Triple J. And we got off on a high note, highly anticipating Royal Rumble. And then just like that, all of this hot stuff just came at the table within a 1 day period. Most of this stuff happened yesterday, and one piece of news happened maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. So, because of the news being so big and major, I'm going to actually start this off with our news clips before we talk about SmackDown quick fast, because I want to start on a serious note. And then as we go along, we can lighten up a bit. So I'm going to do these quick news clips, and then I'm going to ask the fellas at the tables their thoughts and opinions, and maybe they have some inputs about these news topics as well. So let's just start our news clips. So most of you should already know about this whole alleged allegations from Vince McMahon. I'm not going to go through it. You should already know about it. If you don't, just go online and you can see for yourselves. But a couple of things we know that is in fact true. We know that, well, at the time I wrote this, that Slim Jim, one of the biggest sponsors, if not the biggest sponsor of WWE, has made a statement saying that given the recent disturbing allegations against Vincent McMahon, at this time we've decided to pause our promotional activities with WWE, which includes the Royal Rumble for tomorrow. But here's another piece of information that just hit our desk not too long ago during SmackDown. I want to inform you that Vince McMahon has tendered his resignation for his position as TKO Executive Chairman and on the TKO Board of Directors. He will no longer have a role with TKO Group Holdings or WWE. This is from Nick Khan. He's the president of the WWE. Also, it was reported during our Raw episode that Kevin Patrick has been removed from the SmackDown commentary table. Well, I'm unfortunate to report that days later after that was reported, he has in fact been released from his contract. That was yesterday. Today, Michael Cole sat in at the table, but Michael Cole introduced himself as one night only Michael Cole. So the question is, who's going to take over Kevin's spot next week? One more piece of news, as we all know, Monday Night Raw, or rather say Raw Wars. USA Network will not be airing Raw episodes after September 30th. For we all know that September 30th is the ending of Raw's contract with the USA Network. So what's going to happen within those next 3 months? They're not going to start their Netflix deal early because that starts in January 2025. And SmackDown, they begin their USA Network in October. So despite all of these good things that NBC Universal is doing, where is Raw going to go for the next 3 months? These are the questions and these are the news clips for today, Friday. Starting with Des and ending with Jay. What do you guys think about the news for this week? It's pretty heavy, yes?
Dude, it's been a whirlwind of positive news and bad news for WWE and for anyone who follows WWE, especially us who love to comment and podcast about WWE. You know, it's been a crazy week. I can just say, like, the beginning half of the week, it's been all positive, and then the last day or so, it's just been a lot of negative stuff. I find that Slim Jim pulling out of their sponsorship of Royal Rumble, that was huge because of the fact that they were the only sponsor of the Royal Rumble, and because these days, WWE only does one sponsor at a time for their premium live events. So I found that to be disheartening. I'm happy that they only paused their relationship with WWE, because if they would have outright just canceled it, I would have felt bad for people like LA Knight, Bianca Belair, and those who were, coming into their own advertising for that company along with WWE. So hopefully, with the news of Vince resigning, it helps in the future, and it helps mend the relationship between the two companies. Because again, I feel that everyone that's been in charge of WWE since 2022, the summer 2022, when Vince was no longer a part of the daily operations, they've built something really, really well. And to see it crumble because of him and his dealings from 2019 to 2020, 2021, while he was in charge, it's not fair. So it's just been a lot. Shout out to The Rock, becoming a board member. Maybe that was a key factor in Vince, owning up to his mishaps. Uh, Triple H, shout out to him. Shout out to Nick Khan, because you guys have been giving us nothing but jewels and greatness, for the last year or so. Yeah, I'm still mentally I'm still all over the place as a longtime WWE WWF fan since the mid to late '90s. I'm disappointed in hearing what I heard with Vince, the alleged actions that taken place, you know. But that's things like that happens with guys, men of power. So, Jay, what are your thoughts, Jay?
Honestly, oh man, this was a damn sure long week. You know, we got good. We was good on Monday Night Raw. We was good with NXT. The Rock being a part of the board. Everything was going great until these past 48 hours, if you want to even say that. You know, it's a lot to digest, and man, it's just stupid how this shit is happening because we were basically blindsided by all of this, by what Vince was doing and everything. And it looks like I was telling you guys earlier that he really lived his ruthless aggression life away from WWE itself. So
Allegedly,
I'm
allegedly, we
yeah,
don't know.
allegedly, but like even I was telling you guys as well, like damn, this shit was even portrayed in video games, and we didn't catch on to it 15 years ago. So whatever happens there in between them, you know, me as one, I don't want to pay it too much attention because I want to focus on, like if I'm one of the business guys, I would want to focus on what's ahead, which is the road to WrestleMania and our program tomorrow. You know, I hope it doesn't sidetrack anything that WWE has planned. And I want what's best for them. I want what's best for the company in the long run, since this is still fresh with TKO. And a lot of us fans were already feeling like Vince had to be let go of everything. And if this is the way he had to get let go, then so be it. That's all I gotta say about it. I don't want to stay too much on this topic.
So just closing out on this story and the whole news, listening to what you said, Des, and listening to what you said, Jay, it's amazing how the actions of one person can have a domino effect and can connect with other people. Just like with the storylines in the WWE, when someone gets hurt, how like this all of these people are like affected by it. And I say that because there were a lot of people that was mentioned in this, all of these allegations, and one of the people were in fact Brock Lesnar. I anticipated for Brock Lesnar to show up tomorrow at the Royal Rumble. And so did a lot of people, which kind of like blew up the spot that he was going to show up. But I mean, would it be good business for him to show up tomorrow? I say no, absolutely not. And I was reading, I don't know if it's concurred that he also is on pause in terms of participating tomorrow in future stories. So, quick fast, do you think that Brock and other individuals that was named in these allegations, will they be able to move forward, or are they on pause also? We'll start with Jay and Des to follow.
I since it's only that I've heard Brock and John Laurinaitis, you know, I don't know if there's any other alleged names into this. You feel me? So I would think, you know, Brock hasn't been around in so long that might as well just keep it on. Like, don't even don't even play the cards with him. Just let it breeze on by. Let's go with what was planned. Maybe this was a plan B. So now you got to dig in your pockets for a plan C. And just go with the show. That's the way I would say. I would think. If Vince, like, I think if Vince was in charge, like, how we would sit back and he would say the show must go on. Well, I feel this is what we could go on from here with. Whatever we had planned, we scrapped a little bit here, scrapped a little bit there, and we still could make the best of it. You know, I just
Okay,
hope
so
nothing else comes out.
just to understand, what you're saying is you still want to see Brock tomorrow, and just hopefully like it all brushes off, and he'll be able to perform tomorrow at Rumble.
I would say I'm 50-50 on it, just because they just threw his name into this, literally, and we don't really know everything that's with going on with Brock. But as soon as we got word of it, it was like basically like, "Yo, we got to pull him out." So if this is true, then yeah, I would say just have him on standby. Have him at home. If you need him, bring him. If not, then just forget about it and bring someone else in his replacement. Since they're in Florida, I'm pretty sure there's about 10 or 20 other wrestlers that live out there that are, capable of taking his place, but not having the same type of impact.
In my opinion, I think that WWE, Triple H, Nick Khan should just go ahead and pause anything dealing with him, because with him being named in this lawsuit, until it's rectified and clarified, you just move on from it. We haven't seen him since sometime last year, and he's not, a recurring superstar. They can find someone else to do whatever it was that he was supposed to do in the Rumble and with, beyond the Rumble. In my opinion, I think we just move on from Brock and keep things clean with WWE. Remove ourselves from anyone and anybody dealing with that era prior to Triple H and Nick Khan taking over. And that's my opinion of it. Quick and short.
I hear you guys. I hear you. Well, it's still fresh and early, and new news comes all the time within the blink of an eye. I'm sure we'll probably hear more news before the end of tonight's show. So we will stay tuned. We will stick with these stories. We have a couple of messages. My apologies for taking so long to play them. Here's one from What the Boom, and then another from our homegirl Dreamy.
Let's hope this lasts this time.
Let's hope what lasts this time. Let's go with Dreamy.
Shit.
Hey, how's everyone going? I hope you're doing great. I'm here to be tuned in to your podcast. Shout out to Triple J, Mundo, and Shane. Much love to you guys.
Aw, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for the shout out. And I'll tell you what, Dreamy, that's for you, sweetie. Thank you so much for the message, and thank you so much for joining in. Okay, I want to play this message quick fast from What the Boom. Hopefully he answered my question.
I was talking about Vince's resignation.
Oh, he's talking about Vince McMahon's resignation. Vince. Des, how about you answer that? Then Jay, and then I'll follow.
Yeah. What the Boom. This time around, it's a different situation with Vince. He no longer has the deciding say in WWE, whereas before they were still a McMahon-owned company. Now that he sold the company to Ari and Endeavor, there is no coming back for Vince McMahon, because they would have to vote him back in, and I don't see that happening. He is just bad for business at this point, and I don't see it happening. Vince is done. This is his final swan song, and unfortunately for him, it's a negative swan song. But for us as WWE fans, we already moved on from him. The product has been much better without his input in it, so I don't see it happening.
Yeah, this is the end. You know, it was a good story while it lasted with him. You know, he's had the company damn near almost 45, 50 years, and everything's been good for years and years and years, decades, all of that shit. So, kudos to the run that he had, but no kudos to how it ended. I'm sorry it had to end this way, but the show must go on. Royal Rumble, mañana. Let's get it.
Jay, like he always says, no one person is bigger than the conglomerate known as the WWE. So not even him. Not even him.
Thank you, Mr. Taker.
You know, this whole thing is real sad because me personally, being a WWE fan since like back in the early '80s, back when we had like WrestleMania 1, and you hear Vince McMahon because he used to be an announcer, and he was like one of the best out there. And for him to put together this global brand, and for it to just like all crumble down for these allegations, it's hurting as a fan and as an admirer of his vision of the business and just a businessman, and for his love and his passion for this here. He's one of the many reasons why we're here today. He's one of the reasons why I love this business and I love this brand. I just, I hope for the best. I mean, for me, it's like, hey, if it's lying or telling the truth, I don't know. It's really difficult to go either way with so much going on that kind of tells us what was going on. But like I said, it's still early, and we will find out as days go on. So I wish everyone the best of luck in the WWE. Before I start, because I forgot to give a bell to Mr. What the Boom. What the Boom. That's for you, man. Thank you so much for the questions, and thank you for joining us here today. All right, let's talk SmackDown. Rumble Eve SmackDown. But the very first person that came out was this Latin Grammy winning multi platinum rapper slash songwriter. He is the artist who recorded the RKO theme song. His name is, and please correct me, Eladio Carrion. He has 870,000 subscribers on X, Twitter, and over 7 million Instagram followers. That is a
Shane,
lot.
not to Shane, sorry to interrupt you, but he did a song that's called RKO,
Oh,
and
he
he
did a
featured
song.
right, and he featured Randy in the video, similar to how Bad Bunny did a Ric Flair song and featured Ric Flair. So just to let you know.
Okay, cool. Thank you for correcting me on that. Okay. Because at first I was like, wait a minute, that's the guy that said, I hear voices in my head. I said, wow, he has a different voice from his talking voice from that. But yeah, thank you for clearing that up. Finally check that out. So that segment, Randy comes out and he talks about how, yeah, congratulations to Roman, 1,300 days as champ. But me, RKO, I'm trying to be 15-time world heavyweight champ. And then AJ Styles comes out, he talks, and then LA Knight comes out, and he talks, and then AJ just snaps and kicks RKO twice. That was your opening for the show today. It's like, once again, the 3 out of the 4 guys in the main event for tomorrow, they come out, they do the beans on the mics, they have their little scuffle, and that was that. Start with Jay, end with Dez. What was your thoughts on this opening scene?
Uh, it was all right. You know, I didn't expect Eladio to come out and do, just even say anything. I just thought we was gonna just get plain old Randy and everybody else comes out and talk. Like what Eladio should have did was actually do it the way they did the Booker T track as well, that Bad Bunny did. They should have did this whole song and introduced Randy with them. But they did it kind of separately, and I was like, that could have been a better of an intro. And you know, everything, pretty much is what's expected from each of these guys coming up leading to tomorrow. These are a lot of guys with egos that they're only chasing one thing and one thing only, and they're basically sidetracking one another. So, Randy's playing cool right now, which I like. And anything that's happened from tonight, if it concludes the way it does tomorrow, man, we already know the tribal chief will not go down. So, kudos to the way the show opened. I felt it needed just a little bit more heat as far as the way it started. You know, Des, go hello.
Well, what I took from it was the fact that Randy said that he will be a 15-time world champion, and in doing so, like Shane said, AJ Styles came out, and but what we forgot to mention was that AJ said to Randy, like, bro, you RKO'd me last week, so I owe you a receipt. Mind you, the first time we heard that kind of thing was back when the Undertaker had his little retirement, um, not movie, but his retirement documentary. He said that Randy had hit him over the head with a chair, kind of too hard, kind of busted him open. And he told Randy, like, I'm gonna give you a receipt for that. So AJ waited until after LA Knight lit both of them up, which he did, and walked out. And AJ kicked Randy in the stomach and attacked him after the opening promo. And I personally thought that it was going to lead to a match tonight between Randy and AJ, but it never did. So I thought the intro was pretty cool. It kept the main fight between the Smackdown superstars for tomorrow alive, especially since we didn't have Roman Reigns on the show. So, you can do what you can while you have 3 of the 4 competitors for the night. Shane?
I was kind of surprised that he didn't show up, being that everybody I thought would have been in Florida already to prepare for tomorrow. That's why I thought that he would have, like, popped up and popped somebody in the head. But
Not
instead,
to,
at the very end,
not to mention that he lives in Florida, Shane. He lives in Florida, too.
well, there you go. More of a reason for him to have gotten out of bed. I guess it was going to pay him enough to get out of bed for today. Maybe,
Really, Shane?
you
To get
know.
out. I love that.
Well, it's a supermodel thing. It's a supermodel. Back in the day, she said that I would not get out of bed for under $15,000. So that's what I get from him. That he won't get out of bed unless you pay him good money. And apparently tonight's SmackDown wasn't enough. So, but we did get LA Knight. LA Knight interrupted the RKO party, which was interesting, which added even more fuel to this whole battle tomorrow. It's going to be really, really good. I'm looking forward to that. But let's move right along to something that was actually interesting. It was the first match of the night, which was Carlito versus Santos. Now, I must say that this was his longest match, Carlito's longest match returning. Because, he did the whole tag team thing that he would go in for a couple of minutes, if that much, do a couple of swings and then walk away or do a cheap shot here and there. But he actually had a pretty decent amount of time of a match. I mean, decent. It was okay. But then that sexy mama, Electra Lopez, she comes out and helps out her homie Santos because Selena was up on the top rope, up on the ropes, being a distraction, and then she managed to, knock her off her feet, literally, giving Santos the win. What do you guys think? Des, Jay to follow. What do you guys think of this first match, this finally long match between Carlito and Santos?
To me, it was a pretty good match. The match did what it was supposed to do, which was further this storyline between the LWO and damn it, Phantasma. I done forgot the damn group's name. It was to further the match between Santos and his goons and the LWO. Like I mentioned to you guys, while Santos was coming out, that robe was cool, man. With the background that they had and his robe, that was sweet, bruh. For me, though, Carlito just continuing on with this shoulder injury is hilarious because I'm like, when you see during the playback that they had what Santos did to him, I'm like, bro, how the hell are you that injured from just a kick in the shoulder? But I guess going along with what Shane and Triple J said about Carlito, he only gets a few hours through the year. So yeah, I'm just like, all right, whatever. And I was shocked to see Elektra Lopez debut tonight, with her original group. That was something I was not expecting. I was, as soon as I saw that, I hit Jay up on the chat like, yo, like, sis is here. You've been telling us that she was a part of the group, but she got left out when all of them got called up to the main roster. And then we all know, if you follow us on our NXT podcast, that she got her own thing going on right now. But to see her, debut this Friday, that was interesting. That was amazing to see. And she took out Zelina, which caused Carlito to lose the match in a row up, or whatever you want to call it, to Santos. So I'm, you know, I think I am invested into this. I want to see more of it. Because at the end of the day, I think it's going to lead back to Rey Mysterio getting back to 100%, and it'll get back on track to what it is. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Ah, ha, 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 ha. This is what I was waiting for. This was the typical Carlitos maybe 5 to 7 minute match that just adds on to his official minutes per month.
Jay,
So,
Jay,
what,
Jay,
what?
you don't get no flowers on this one, though, bro. No flowers
I
for
don't
you. No flowers
see,
for you.
but look, my guy. I was just talking it up. Like I didn't expect it to unfold the way it did. Like this fast, this soon. It must have been something that we kept on seeing, and that was LWO being too much on NXT. So it gave off that vibe while Electra was still there. Like, yo, why are my old guys here? And this chick took my spot. So, Santos probably already made the call and was like, look, we need you back. One by
Jay,
one, I'm getting my pieces.
Jay, I'm sorry, Shane, but
Háblame,
Jay, do you
háblame,
do you think
háblame.
it goes back to the promo that they had this past Tuesday when she mentioned Santos and the guys? Do you think that was something that they were like, all right, we'll go and invest in that on SmackDown? You think so? Especially since LWO has been in and out on NXT.
Yes, yes, I definitely agree that was the shot that we probably didn't see. That's good that you point to actually that part out with it because it happened. Within 72 hours it happened, and now this is what I was kept on telling you guys before. When I wasn't watching NXT, I was like, yo, too much of the main roster. Whether it be Raw or SmackDown, they've been too much in NXT, and we're starting to slowly see these NXT characters come to life on the regular shows. So, like you said, you're heavily invested. Now it makes you even like, you got to put your food on the table, sit back, get your popcorn, your drinks, everything, because now you're not going to know who's going to pop up on NXT with stuff like this happening. Stay tuned till Tuesday on that note with those, because I know this is going to continue Tuesday.
It seems that your vision, Jay, of all of these factions is really starting to happen. And I can see how some of these guys are going to NXT to I guess you can say, in find some people to join their factions somewhat. I can see that happening so that you'll see more tag teams and you'll see more factions, just more people on screen instead of, solo competitors. But I like the fact that Electra showed up today. It's cool to see her shine, but she needs to save her energy because don't forget she has that match with that other gorgeous girl Lola on Tuesday. So looking forward to that. Congratulations to Electra on your SmackDown debut. Ow! But here's a question, Des and Jay, to follow. What is AJ Styles' problem with the OC? Because there was a backstage incident where the OC came up to AJ after Jimmy whispered something in his ear. I'm sure one of you will tell us what they said. And then OC was like, hey, what's going on? And it was like AJ like just has this attitude. This is like the second time in a row that OC came up to AJ and AJ just like dissed him and walked away. What is going on with that?
Um, I'll say that his issue is that when he did get injured by the bloodline, excuse me, when we heard from the OC, they were like, "Oh, we told him not to go against them. We told him not to do this and told him not to do that." So they basically didn't support him and didn't support what he was going after. So basically, in my opinion, I think AJ has a gripe with them. Because I've noticed the same thing as you. I've noticed that he's been very shady with the Good Brothers and Michin as well, and he doesn't want them around, and it's crazy. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Jay?
Oh, the way Jimmy was basically letting him know, like, yo, we could take out LA Knight. before the Rumble even happens. So if you want to get want to take your shot, let's take your shot now. And that's when the OC came and Jimmy slid off, and I'm like, you know what? Eventually, AJ's gonna need them at one point sooner or later. So it's best to at least just let them, shade them off for a while, block them out, because when you needed them, they wasn't there. That's what he's thinking right now. Even though they told him what they told him, as far as not to interfere with the bloodline, he still feels probably like, you know what, y'all wasn't gonna have my back anyway
So
if
Jay,
I was gonna talk to him.
so you're saying that he's blaming them for that attack that they had on him, that caused him to be out. That's what you're saying.
This is what's probably going through his head. Yes, this is that. He's probably like, damn. When they were jumping me in the back, at least I could have done something.
Right.
Y'all
Where
just
he
let. Yeah, that's my mind state on it with AJ. I ain't mad at him. You
and
know,
again
every
and, and again Shane, when that was happening, again after that happened, they were on TV and they were saying like, hey, we told him not to go against the bloodline. We told him not to do that, and he didn't listen to us. And this is what the result was. So that's how it ended up being. So now this new AJ character, who's pretty pissed off with everybody, is coming to collect. So yeah, Shane.
So, do you think, Des and Jay, do you think that it's possible that, first of all, are their names still the OC? What was that name that you just called them, Des?
Well, when they're just a tag team, the two guys, when they're a tag team by themselves, they are the Good Brothers. But when they're all together with AJ and Michin, they're called the OC.
Okay, cool. So, with that being said, do you think that is possible? Because I would have thought that this would have happened a long time ago. Will they be at ringside for tomorrow's match to support AJ?
no, he's gonna brush him off again in the back. He's gonna just be by his lonesome. This is his title opportunity. This is his chance. You know, to me, he's feeling that they don't have his back on what he wants, and that's the championship. So if there's no believers, then might as well me be the one to believe in myself and go out there and just do what it do. Be the phenomenal one. That's all he knows how to do, and he's gonna have a good one tomorrow. It's gonna be great. I expect one of the best fatal four ways we've ever seen in history probably tomorrow.
Well, me, I actually think that they will appear, but somehow, some way, their appearance in the match will cost AJ the win. So it'll further his gripe and whatnot that he has against them. So yes, I think they'll show up, but it'll be in a negative, fashion for AJ Styles.
As in them proving AJ why he feels the way he feels.
Um, I think it'll be a freak situation where, um, it'll just be that way, but it's not purposely done. But it'll be, maybe they might be trying to stop the bloodline from doing what they do on a regular, but the bloodline runs so deep that doesn't help. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
This should be very, very interesting coming tomorrow. Because, like Jay said, this could be like hands down one of the best four-way matches we have ever seen. With so many stories that's inside that four circle, along with the stories that is outside and what could possibly happen outside with the possible interference and maybe surprise interference from past beefs. That is like, okay, here I am finally coming to revenge so that you won't get the title. Like this can go so many ways. I'm excited about this. And I can't even tell you who I think is gonna win. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be Roman. We know that moving forward is gonna be Roman. But let me ask this question, quick fast. If not Roman, who would be your guy to win? Dez, Jay?
Um, it would have to be Randy Orton. I mean, he is the elder of everyone. Um, he has the most history to win. If he does win, becoming 15-time world champion. Um, you know, I get it with AJ Styles. He's a former WWE champion. I get it. LA Knight is a superstar in the making, but the only logical winner beyond Roman Reigns is Randy Orton, in my opinion.
I'd say I have to agree. You know, if there's anybody else, I would pick Randy. But my second choice out of that would be LA Knight because he had the momentum he's had over the past 6 to 8 months with the whole year movement. He has the crowd won over, and this if he does lose, which we know is going to happen, it's going to further fuel the fans into anticipation of when is he going to win it because we know he's going to still deliver on the mic, regardless win or lose. Is the only thing is he's just too old in the game to take serious as far as championship wise. But on the mic, that boy is gold. He says some of the wildest punchlines nowadays, and it was to the point where when he called out, he told AJ, he said, "Quit crying, like you're a dummy," and all this other stuff. And he said he was gonna hit Solo so hard that he'll be doing his daddy's dances, like. And then he did the little Rikishi dance behind it when he tried it. So we know LA Knight got the swag to be a champion, but it's not gonna happen tomorrow night. Even though most fans, that's what they will probably want. Besides Randy, AJ, this is his like final hoorah. So he's like the wild card in this whole match to me. If he was to win, it's only because he got so much time left. That's all.
Wow. So it all boils down to the icon or the mid card or repeat champion or the fresh face of the company that, in my opinion, has one of the most unprecedented positions that I've ever seen, as in terms of from where he started to where he is now in such a very short period of time. It could go so many ways. Good luck to those four gentlemen. We're going to be glued to the TV tomorrow for that match. So, continuing on with SmackDown. On my list, I have this video package that Bailey did. Did something happen before that? Yes, something did happen. We had the introduction of the lotto machine. They brought back the lotto machine, y'all, where the participants can come in and they can draw their number to see which number that they get to pick to walk into the Rumble. How you guys feel about that? They brought the machine back, and our girl, well, Des girl Ava, she was there to help out Nick in terms of picking the numbers. Des, Jay, my follow, what do you think of them bringing back the old lotto machine?
Ah, my girl, right? That's my girl because I believed in her from day one. But this goes back to I believe it was our conversation last week on SmackDown. I'm not sure if we had this conversation on Raw, but I believe it was SmackDown where we were like, it might have been Raw, but I questioned like, okay, how come we only know? Yeah, it was definitely Raw. I said that how come we only know about a certain amount of superstars as far as the men's and women's Royal Rumble? Because in past times we were privy to these superstars, you know, finding out their entrance number to the Royal Rumble. But the twist this time around was we watched them roll the balls around like like R-Truth said, there was many balls in there, but we didn't find out what number they got for the entry to the Royal Rumble. So I kind of like the nod to the past that they did, but it was pretty cool to see that they wouldn't distinguish who got what number. So I give it a nod for the past, but I give it a nod for the future as far as like we still don't know who's what number, but we know that we got a few entrants just because of the fact that they showed up tonight.
Man, yeah, that was cool that we actually were already thinking about that in advance with the lotto machine. Like, you know, we're ones that we be talking about it early, and look what's been happening. Shit's been popping up all of a sudden. So, this is a kudos to you, Mundo, for bringing that up on that Raw episode. And as far as with it happening, I like how Bobby, told Santos, with the tap to the face, like I ain't forget you. You know, like, there's some beef, brewing there later on down the road when he's done with AOP and them. So that was cool to see. And then that segment with R Truth, oh my God, when he said the balls were everywhere, that was hilarious. And then the fact that after he looks at his number, he asks him, "Do I have to quarantine?" And he's really going back into the COVID era. And then he calls Aldous Pierce. He was like, "Wow, you grew some hair and real fast." Like,
Jay,
truth was gold.
Jay.
What
Now,
what
with
happened?
with Archer saying that though, does that mean that he got a higher number in the Royal Rumble because of the fact that he feels that whatever number he got, he has to quarantine?
Pretty much. He has a late number. I would say anywhere between 25 and 30 that he's gonna, be having to wait all that time. So yeah, he's talking about quarantining from tonight all the way to the until his number is called. It's hilarious. Shane?
Like I said on the chat, when he said that, immediately the number 19 came to my head, as in COVID 19.
I'm dead.
You don't think so?
What? I'm gonna pay attention to that.
Shane, I didn't even put two and two together. That is funny, but you know what? That's very realistic. I would, if that man comes out at number 19, I will scream for you, bro.
Because I was like, why would you say I have to quarantine? It's like, yeah, that's what we was doing for COVID 19. So that's how I came up with that number. I could be right, I could be wrong, but the whole thing, like, I like the element of surprise. Like, if we didn't have those segments, I would have been okay. I would have been fine. But I see that they did that to, you want to cover the time and you want to have a jam packed show, and then you want to bring something back, of reminiscing of the Royal Rumble and the whole Royal Rumble, theme. Kudos to R-Truth though for that. Dez and Jay to follow. The video package from Bailey. I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you did, what are your thoughts on that video package?
We already know I love me some Baby. I don't call her Bailey, she's Baby. But that video package, she spit a lot of truth, She spoke about her injury, her knee injury, and then she spoke about the fact that, she brought back Dakota Kai and Io Sky, which we saw in SummerSlam. Um, I I personally believe, well, obviously, what she said has been coming true so far. Io Sky is now the women's WWE Women's Champion. The Kabuki Warriors are now the WWE Women's Champions. So the only thing left is for her to win the Royal Rumble and beat Rhea at WrestleMania for her to take the Women's World Championship for um, Damage Control to literally run the entire women's division. I, I found that to be a great, great promo from her. I love you, baby. Go ahead, Jay.
Yes, that was one tough ass segment. You know, we see how she overcame everything. And and one thing she said, I'm a visionary. And what have I been saying to y'all? Like, I feel that she's like a female version of what Seth is. You know, they're good without, gold. They could still prevail and, hold themselves to a high standard as far as who they are. So, Bailey, kudos to her and for everything that she's doing. And, you know, I just hope that she doesn't lose tomorrow. But hey, we already kind of feel that she's gonna be one of the four left in there. And I still feel, based off of what happened in the match, in that tag match, which I'm not happy about, you know, yeah,
Boo
they
hoo.
gotta, they go,
Boo,
yo,
boo
bro.
hoo.
I didn't
Boo,
want that. I didn't want that to happen.
boo hoo.
I didn't. I didn't because now they're really all carrying gold, and it's just leaving, Dakota and Bailey without anything. So, Dakota's playing more of the manager role, so she doesn't really care too much. But boo to them for winning it. And, I'm just upset that they don't really give tag champs with the women good tag runs because they're literally switching this belt every month and a half. That's why I didn't like the outcome of it.
Oh, Triple J.
If we if
Well,
we're
Triple,
gonna
well,
if
Triple,
we're gonna
Triple,
what
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. That was not the question that was asked. stay within the question that was asked. Okay, we're talking about a promo. Stay within the
Okay.
promo. Yeah.
No, and you know what?
Okay.
In all fairness, because I was going to ask a question that pertained to the match, since the match was the video package was part of the opening for the match, and not for nothing, Des, you jumped the gun by already announcing that the Kabuki Warriors are the tag team champions. So let's not throw a knife at Jay when it's already on you, okay, buddy?
No, 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 no,
Yes,
no,
you
no,
did. You did say
no.
that they won the
No.
titles before we
I didn't.
discussed the match. In all fairness,
I didn't go into it.
Mm-hmm.
but you
Yeah.
did mention it. You mentioned it
No.
before we mentioned the match.
Get into Bobby and
See,
Bobby.
look at him.
Get into Bobby.
Look at him,
Look.
look at him.
Double
Oh,
clothesline.
no. Fuck KW clothesline.
All right, so
Oh
let me ask
shit.
you guys this question because I want to stay on this women's tag team, the women's tag team. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Carter and Chance, or who I like to call CNC Music Factory. Because I like them. They're new, they're fresh, and they have these new moves, and they have this new energy about them. And tonight, it was a good match. It was a very good match. But the Kabuki Warriors, being that they have a history and they're in sync also, so it's like you have this team that has already worked with each other that is like well in sync because they've known each other. And then you have CNC, who is brand new. They're trying to prove their position here. So they just as hungry. So you have a team that's hungry versus a team that is saying, we've done this before and we can do it again. We were champions before, we can hold the titles again. So what are your thoughts about Carter and Chance, Des and Jay to follow, who I like to call CNC Music Factory? That's my new name for them. What are your thoughts, Des?
I actually think that they're a hell of a tag team. They are very, very. What's the proper word? They are very, very. I guess the least word I would use is vicious, but they are very impressive. For two small women, they have a lot of power. The moves that they use are very, very strong. I am very impressed with that tag team, but I always knew that they were just champions to move on to the bigger story. But I am very impressed with them. I see them again becoming WWE Women's Champions down the line. Um, but tonight was not their night. I've been calling it all week that they were going to lose the titles, only because of the damage control angle of everything. But I really respect them. Um, they're much better than what we saw with Pepper Niven and Chelsea Green, or Chelsea Green and this other chick that got injured. I respect them a lot, and I see that they have a bright future in WWE as long as they remain in the women's tag team title picture. Jay.
Oh man, you know how much I love these girls. You know, these girls bring it every time. I was watching them in NXT when they were nothing. When Chance was just Casey Catanzaro, and Carter was went by a totally different name, and she was, you know, just the weekly job dummy getting beat up every week, to all these other chicks that are on the roster now, like Rhea and Xia Li, and just the others that are on the main roster now. She was just a dummy for them, and I give them a lot of kudos for actually working from the ground up and really getting somewhere. These two chicks are going to continue impressing everybody because that corkscrew plunge that Chance took out the ring was crazy. I thought that was a hot ass move, and then even their finisher, that kickstand spin, whatever they call it, I don't know what's the name of it, that finishing move, but that finishing move is sick because it's like that said, these are two short girls that bring so much heat with them. Their speed and power together from women that you don't expect to have it. And if this is the future of women's tag wrestling, I'm happy and I'm excited. Sugar Shane, take it away.
I totally agree with both of you 100%. These girls, they are awesome. However, I feel that they won the titles too soon. Should have more matches under your belt before you had the opportunity to go for the Covenant Tag Team Champion belts. But did you guys notice during that celebration when the Kabuki Warriors came off the ring and how they was hugging and they was raising the belts and everything? But for some reason, maybe it's me, but Bailey Bebe seemed to have been, I don't know, like cut off or like ignored because she was aiming for a high five and they didn't give it to her, and she just played it off and kept on going with the celebrating and fixing the belts on the shoulder. But it was like they wasn't paying attention to her, almost as if she wasn't even there. Did you guys notice that? And is that going to be? Do you think that that's going to be mentioned going down the line? I see Jada, you're anxious to answer, so I'll start with you first, Jay, and then that's to follow. Did y'all mention? Did you see that shade?
Oh man, that was hilarious because you could see it all, in the reaction. So all she could do was just, like just pat them on the side of the arm or the chest or whatever. Like, yeah, congratulations. And all it's gonna lead is just more fuel to the fire for Bailey. And one thing I gotta say during that, like before that match had ended, that move Kyrie Sane did when she did the Alabama Slam to Chance. Bro, I didn't expect it to go that fast, with her head hitting that table. Wow. That kudos to Kyrie Sane for that one. She had the crowd on that one.
Yeah, I
Des,
agree.
before you answer, I'm sorry, Des, before you answer, oh, she went away. I was going to give a shout out to somebody was just on the chat. I was going to give them a special shout out, but I see they left. Hopefully they'll come back and I'll shout them out so I can see their full name. I'm sorry, Des.
All righty then. Well, I'll do it for you. I would like to shout out my bestie, Faye, FG Faye. Thank you so much for participating in our chat. But yes, Triple J, that that power bomb on the announce table again. The second one we had this week was something crazy. But yeah, the Kabuki Warriors just brought it tonight. They brought it, like we never seen before. We haven't seen it in a long time. Since they haven't been a tag team in a while since the dismissal of one of their main factors. Um, yes, I noticed the same thing that you noticed, that there was shade towards Bailey at the end of the match. The Kabuki Warriors were hugging Io and Dakota, and Bailey didn't get no love. I didn't like that. I'm not a fan of that. But maybe things will get better tomorrow when Bailey wins the Royal Rumble, the Women's Royal Rumble. Um, so for now, I'll shout out and congratulate the Kabuki Warriors for winning the Women's World Tag Team titles. As I predicted, I've been saying all day today that I felt it. I smelled new Women's World Champions. What do you got to go ahead, Jay? Because I feel you interrupted me. Go ahead.
Boo. No, I just wanted to say boo. Nothing else, bro. Boo.
Really, really, really. Go ahead, Shane.
Eh, when Jay can get his moments, he takes it as he can. So I say enjoy your moment, Jay, while you can get them. But congratulations to the Kabuki Warriors on your tag team. They are officially the women's tag team champions of the WWE. And congratulations to Carter and Chance also. You girls are amazing. Keep doing your thing. You will
Shane,
still be winners to us. J, Day, D, aka what's up?
yo, bro, like I like literally enjoy those two ladies. Like they've in the last 3 weeks they defended the championship about 2 or 3 times, and I really enjoy them. Like they are the hardest hitting women in the tag team division. Like I really enjoyed them. I don't know about y'all, but I really do. I really enjoyed them, 100%. You got a incoming message, by the way, Shane.
I do. And dude, I absolutely positively agree with you. They are absolutely amazing. But I see why that they had to lose the titles moving forward in story rise. Jay may not agree with it, but it's part of the story. And speaking of stories, let's hear the story of this text from Dreamy.
I really like this podcast. It's really great. You guys do a great job hosting this. Great talking.
You hear that, Jay? You're getting a shout out, Jay. You hear that, AKA? Y'all getting shout outs. She likes y'all. What do you think about that?
You included in this too, bro. Don't leave yourself out of it. You the host with the most tonight, my guy. It's a shout out to us three. Don't just give us the kudos. The kudos get split 33.3%, my guy.
Right down to the point three, huh? All right, so let's move forward here. Oh, Des, you.
Hey Shane.
Hey, Des.
Hey Shane.
Des.
um, um, we have a special listener that's going to join us shortly, but he would love to be a part of the panel. He's normally our special guest host on Mondays on Raw, and he wanted to know if he can be a part of the panel tonight. And tonight's not my night, so I can't give him the okay for that. But I just wanted to put that on you. When you see him, you make your decision.
All right, I'll do that. I'll think about it because we still do have, a lot to talk about, including, Royal Rumble talk, your birthday shout outs, and then you guys got your hot takes. But we'll see as the show goes along. Fair enough, Des?
That is fair enough, bro. Fair enough.
And speaking of fair or unfair, let's talk Paul Heyman. Did you guys see what Paul Heyman said to Solo and then what he said to Jimmy Uso? Start with Des and end with Jay. Fix the problem and don't be merciful. Paul Heyman tells Jimmy Uso to enter the Royal Rumble match, win it, and face Seth Rollins at Mania if that's possible so that he can bring the World Heavyweight title to the Bloodline. Des and Jay to follow. What are your thoughts on that segment?
Bruh,
And give the shout out while you're on, Des.
bruh, what, man, I thought that was a beautiful, beautiful backstage segment. To me, like I told you guys in the chat, I thought that was something that he said to Roman Reigns in the beginning of this whole bloodline storyline and the beginning of the whole Tribal Chief situation. I felt it. I personally felt what he was saying to um, Jimmy Uso. Like the kind of, I felt the fire that he spoke with, to ignite Jimmy's solo run. Like that was something incredible. And I man, I forgot that Jimmy might be entrant in the Royal Rumble, but like that was something that was very inspiring. That was something incredible. And I see Jimmy maybe being a part of the Final Four, or maybe eliminating his own brother in the Royal Rumble tomorrow. Like that was something crazy because what he spoke to him was just straight truth. Like it was amazing, amazing. Like something that someone would need to just better their career. And if you watch Jimmy's face, he took it all in and was like, "I believe you. I can do this." And I'm I'm ready to see what Jimmy does in the Royal Rumble tomorrow. Though we never saw whether he actually declared for the Royal Rumble and what position he got in the Royal Rumble. Jay?
Oh man, to me, the way I seen him, how he told Solo to to fix the problem and don't be merciful, to be merciful or whatever. I found that to be a strength, a big motivation for Solo down the line. It's definitely needed for a kid like him, to go handle business against these guys and make sure we have him as hurt as possible. And then, what he told Jimmy, I felt like that's too much of a higher goal for him to achieve. And, you know, he's not gonna he knows himself he's not gonna win. You just want him to be away from everything. You know, Jimmy's as soon as he gets in, it's gonna probably come in late as well into the Rumble just because he's bloodline. Or maybe he's gonna come in early based on his reaction that we saw when he did look into the put his hands into the pit. So I really, you know, feel that yeah, Jimmy's head is blown up now with this heading into tomorrow, guys.
Jay, you don't think that with that speech that he got from Paul, that he would somehow take his brother out of the Royal Rumble? That'll be something that would lead to something going into WrestleMania.
That's what probably would start WrestleMania for them right then and there. One of the brothers throwing each other out, or if not, they both throw each other out at the same time. So we got to pay attention to that as well. And what the wild card thing that could happen is they could both draw 1-2 tomorrow, which would be crazy. I wouldn't be too surprised if that's how they started it.
Shane, what about you? Do you think that what Paul said to Jimmy would inspire him to eliminate his own brother?
Absolutely. I actually want to see them standing there face to face looking at each other and then just beating each other up and Jimmy eliminating Jay. I see that happening. However, how much energy is Jimmy going to have? Because, like Jay said a minute ago, and I'm going to jump down here for a sec to the part where Jimmy picked his number. He had a disappointing look on his face. So, isn't that an indication that he got a like a low number, like maybe like 10 or under? Jay, Des to follow. Did he get a low number once he pulled out that his ball?
I think he has one or two. That's my whole thoughts about it. Like I really think it's gonna be him and Jimmy, him and Jay, 1-2. Set it off. Because I remember back then when the Usos were a tag team, they always let off like certain PLEs, certain matches, about pre-show matches they would lead off or whatnot, so I wouldn't be too surprised if this is how they started the beef. But if they get drawn a little bit later, separated from each other, then I can see what Des is talking about as far as one brother taking out the next. So this is very interesting how this is going to lead into tomorrow. Oh God, hurry up tomorrow.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but to our knowledge, Jay never, you know, he never claimed to be in the Royal Rumble. We never saw him pick a number to be in the Royal Rumble, so we don't know. He might be in it. He may not be in it. He might be an early entrant like his brother. He may not be. He might be a later entrant. We don't know. Jay, these last few weeks on the Raw, has been just a background person, who got called out by Bronson Reed for a match next week. So we don't know what his situation is with the Royal Rumble. So I guess we all have to tune in tomorrow to see whether or not he's in the Royal Rumble and whether he's in the match at the same time as his older brother. Shane?
But Des, why wouldn't they have Jimmy and Jay in the Royal Rumble? Why not have them?
It's a lot of people. Like I said, like me and Jay said to you guys a few weeks ago, this Royal Rumble match is stacked. It's stacked, and Jay has not been involved in anything in the year of 2024. We saw him twice, I believe, in the last almost 4 weeks. Um, I get it. It'll make sense because of the fact that he was hot, but he's cooled off a lot, because of the fact that he has not been used by WWE and Triple H in the last few weeks. So, again, like I said, we will have to just find out by tuning into the Royal Rumble next week. But I would like to say, Fizzle, 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 aka Faye, aka my bestie. Thank you so much for joining in and uh, just being a part of our podcast. I love you so very much. Shane, back to you, my guy.
Let's give them some bells. Those are the bells for your homies. Thank you everyone so much for joining in today. Thank you so much. Des, I want to follow up on what you just said. And Jay, I want you to answer also. So through Jay's eyes and in Jay Uso's situation, would it be smart for him to go back to the bloodline?
No way, no how. It's like you know, we've all seen. I sent you all the video. Out of everyone, he's been the most abused by Roman Reigns and the situation with Paul Heyman since 2020. It makes no sense for him to go back to the bloodline. You know, he's already. It seems that he's already made amends with everybody on Raw. Besides Drew McIntyre, who's been crying about everybody, but besides that, he's made his amends with everybody. He's doing his own thing on Raw. Besides the last few weeks of lull, I don't. It makes no sense for him to go back to the bloodline. He wants to be a singles champion, and his best path to doing that is being on Raw and separating himself from the bloodline. So my answer is no.
My answer is no as well, because the version of basically Jay that we're getting now is what I've been trying to say with y'all for a minute, is the fact that they were saying he's not a locker room guy. He's trying to win the locker room over based on the fact of him being bloodline and almost everybody in that locker room they pretty much beat up, whether they were tag teams or solo. So, you know, I give Jay the respect that even though just featuring him on TV twice, but it's a story within the story with him that he's doing this. It's for us to see him have the backs of guys like the New Day and other people that he's really friends with. We've seen him be there for Sami Zayn in the back. He's there with Cody. He's really trying to win everybody back. So stay the way he is. Be main event Jey Uso in the next month or two, and yeet.
Yeah, so yeet. You agree with me? You agree with me, Jay?
Obviously, my guy, you don't see me saying nothing else. So, like I said, yeet.
You don't have to be rude. I'm just saying you agree with me. You gotta be rude. I'm being nice, very nice.
I'm
It's
not.
night
I'm
before
not
Royal.
being rude.
You
I'm
said
not being rude.
obviously. That's a very derogative.
Ay, ay, Dios mío, este hombre.
Look, you ain't got to speak no goddamn Spanish. You said
Okay, so
obviously.
it's fair to say, it's fair to say across the board that we all agree to Jay's season of forgiveness tour. This is what
Jay
this is.
Jay Uso. Let's clarify because we got a Jay on the goddamn panel. So let's Jay Uso. Shane, let's say that.
I mean, dude, you know what I'm saying. Doesn't matter if I say Jay or
It
Jay
don't matter
Uso.
what it don't matter. We got people watching that don't watch the show on a daily basis. So we got to make sure that we are clear. It's Jay Uso that we're talking about, not Jay Triple J. This guy right here in the middle.
Dude, we are
Oh,
on the subject of Jay Uso. It is obvious when I say Jay that I'm talking about Jay Uso because this is the topic that we're currently talking about.
No, it's not because my guy Coast just popped up in the daggone listeners box, so
Jesus
he don't know what
Christ.
we talking about. He might think that Jay is the same Jay he thinks of in the Nets chat. I want to make sure that we got it right. It's Jay Uso from Monday Night Raw. Let's
you
just get that
see,
right.
you see what's going on, Coast. You see all of this. Ay,
Yeah,
Dios
this
mío,
is
these
this is
these guys in
ridiculous. But
Not ridiculous.
yeah, Des just finally came out the grave. Holy
yeah,
moly, we're in for it now.
oh
This
boy.
night ain't gonna be ever over now.
I've
Jesus.
been nice. I'm still being nice, but let's just be clear for our listeners. Okay? Be clear for our listeners.
Let's be clear that it's you the one that decided to bring out this character. We didn't say anything to bring out this character. You decided to bring out this character to try to prove a point that you didn't have to. That's all I'm saying.
That's incorrect. I'm not trying
That's
to.
all I'm saying.
I'm just trying to make sure that we are clarifying for our listeners who probably don't listen or watch Raw, SmackDown on a daily basis. So I want to make sure that we're not talking about our host, co-host Jay, and we're talking about Jay Uso, Rakishi's son. Matter of fact, F that. Shane, you got a voice note. Play the goddamn voice note.
And at the end of the day, you really think that that whole tyrant was good? That whole thing you just did, that was good as a whole for the picture.
Play the
All
voice
right,
note.
let's play this voice note by Holster Ghost where he says,
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely on his Undertaker shit right now, for real. Like, he not going for y'all bullshit right now, man. One of y'all fucking ran to get Tombstone out this bitch, you heard? Nah, but what up,
Yeah,
fellas? I'm in the tennis. Let's get it.
yeah, my bro Coast. Thank you very much because I'm not taking that BS tonight, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you.
just for the record, it was you that made this bullshit because it wasn't that big of a deal for it to have reached this point.
But our listeners is fucking with me. So what you guys say about that? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll go by asking you this question, Des, since I have your full attention. Moving forward, your girl Baby, she had to pick a number, and we saw her facial expression. What do you think of that? What did her facial expression tell you, Des, and then Jay to follow?
I think that yes, my girl Bebe probably got number one, but it's whatever because as we saw just last year, Rhea Ripley had the number one entrant in the women's world. Excuse me, the women's Royal Rumble, and she lasted the entire time and won the match. So I don't have any doubts that my girl can come in as number one and win the Royal Rumble and challenge Rhea Ripley, like she said, at WrestleMania for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. That's my thoughts on it. Again, shout out to my boy Coast. Shout out to my girl Fizzle. Shout out to my girl Dolly, and shout out to Spotlight. We love you.
Thank you, Des, for saying those kind words. Now, oh God, where can we go with this? Hmm. I would say Bailey is getting either 1 through 5. That facial expression gave it away. And when she looked at Bianca, Bianca was like, "Ha ha, yeah, I'm gonna win." So we know within that picture, Bianca's gonna probably be 27 to 30.
Aren't
So
we Bianca by now? We tired of Bianca by now. Fuck Bianca. Fuck her.
yeah, 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 yeah. Natty's better than her. So yeah, I love Natty too. So
Why are we talking about somebody that's irrelevant? She's irrelevant.
look what you did. You can't be talking about Bianca like that, bro.
I'm
Leave her out the picture.
She had enough time. She ran for a whole year. We good. We don't need no more of her.
So what? Everybody's got to shade away from the champ. Somebody got to go after the regular champ. Like, come on. You even questioned that the other day. So we might as well have Bianca or somebody go after her. Like I
Ain't no,
said, it's the
ain't
come on.
nobody on SmackDown. Ain't nobody on SmackDown. Charlotte got hurt.
They
When Charlotte got hurt, who else is there
so
on
what?
SmackDown?
Come on.
Who else is there on
Okay,
SmackDown?
then.
Who
Okay
else
then.
is there
So
on SmackDown? Jay,
Bianca
tell me.
again. Bianca again
Jay,
and again and again and again and again. That's it. Bianca
Jay,
should be the one to get that. Straight up.
Jay. Who else is there
What?
on SmackDown? Ain't nobody else on SmackDown besides Bianca. Charlotte got hurt, and that's it. Now what? What do you got on SmackDown? Shotzi? She hasn't been on the show in like 2 months. Ain't nobody else on
And
SmackDown. Bro, what you talking about? What you talking
so
about?
what's it? So what's the hate about with Bianca? What did Bianca do to you? Did
I'm tired of her,
at
bro.
least
She had
at
the title
least
for
at
she
least
had
she defended the title. She defended it
she
way
had the title,
more than what EO
she
had.
had the title for a whole
Yo,
year, bro. A
yo,
whole year.
how many
Who wants
yo?
to who wants to see her
How
win again?
many how
Who wants
many
to see
title defenses has EO had since she's been champion?
I don't even know. I don't give a shit about her either.
Thank you,
All I'm
thank
saying,
you.
all I'm
Pointless
saying,
champion.
all I'm saying is Bailey better win, and that's all I care about. Shane, this is your show. You got 3 voice messages. Get to it.
All
Get
right,
to it.
all right, all right. All right, let's go to each end of the bar. Let's have a drink. Let's calm down. It's all right. We'll find out more tomorrow. We'll see who'll be at the top 4 and we'll see who wins tomorrow. All right, fair enough? All right, we got a couple of messages. First, we got Dreamy. Dreamy
I would
says,
be so scared if one of the girls from WWE try to fight me. I would run.
you know what? I hear what you're saying because the girls of today, they are so much more powerful. They're so much more agile, and they put up a damn good fight compared to back in the Attitude Era and the ruthless aggression. That's when they started to get a little bit, tough. But now, the women is like at its most tough. They are brutal. I wouldn't want to fight them either. So let's hear some more
My
messages
bad.
from
Holler
Spot.
in. Mundo 24 Triple J. Shane O'Mac. Continue with this WWE Three Bells podcast. Smackdown. Royal Rumble 24. Shout out to his handsome and beautiful listeners.
What do you got to say about that, Des?
I just want to say, Spotlight, thank you very much. I know you're talking about me being the handsome one. Out of the 3, I appreciate you. Baby girl, thank you so much. You got a sexy voice. Thank you so very, very much. That's all I got to say.
Why did you just gas this man's head? Ay, Dios mío. Now he's going to take this for the whole weekend and just talk about it and glow. Why?
And not for nothing. The only reason why you look handsome on your pictures is because you got those big ass shades that covers half of your face. So you have handsome shades.
Hold on a
Thank
second.
you very much.
Hold on a second. Them shits is not fake ass shades. Let's get that going.
Who said
Them shits,
fake? I didn't say fake ass. I did not
what
say fake ass.
the fuck you said
I
then?
said big ass. I said big ass shades that covers half your face. I never said fake.
Oh,
See that
so
shade? See the shade got you listening to words that you don't even that hasn't even been spoken.
you
You
saying
want
that?
to hear words so that you can throw shade. You see that?
Yo, bruh,
You see
get it
that?
together. Because you the host. Make sure you don't show no goddamn shade. Because if you're gonna come at me tonight, I'm gonna come after you tomorrow. I'm gonna come after you on Monday. I'm being nice tonight to the host, but bro, don't try me, bro. Don't try
You
me. I'm
call
being.
this not you call what you did tonight being nice. You call tonight nice.
I was
Wow.
coming to my co-host. Triple J. I never came after the host of the show, Shane O'Mac. But now you're trying to try me. Don't do that, please.
You
I'm
totally
being
did get at me, but it's okay. It's all right.
all right.
It's okay. We have more messages, Des. Would you like to hear it? Sure, you do.
Yo,
Here
I
you
know I
go.
came into a serious conversation where all y'all mics is unmuted. Word.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Our co-host from Monday Night Raw would love to join in on our SmackDown conversation, but our host Shane is too busy trying to come after me, like like I'm the fucking the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. I'm the good guy here. But y'all want to portray me as a bad guy. Y'all want to jump me like I'm the bad guy. Like I'm like, are you serious? I've been a champion since
Oh my
2020,
goodness.
bro. You
What
have
what
yet to
kind of
acknowledge,
what kind
bro.
of candy are you eating over there? What is going on?
Acknowledge
Shane,
me,
Are you
bro.
are you
I
Shane,
okay?
am. What did I
Shane,
tell
he's
you?
asking for help. He's
When y'all
asking
get
for
in the ring,
help.
when y'all
Oh
get
my
in the ring,
goodness.
your arms better be long enough to box with God, because I am that guy. You understand me? Put my guy triple Tristan Rollins on, because I'm tired of going against y'all by myself. Put him on, Shane.
He needs help. He look at him. He's calling out help. Oh my
What I'm
God.
going to do right now is I'm going to play this next message by Coast to Coast.
Yo, quick
Coast
correction though,
says,
bro. She didn't say handsome people in the panel. She said shout out to the handsome people and the beautiful people in the listeners. But yeah, shout out to Spotlight. What up? Dreamy was popping.
well, there you go. We got our visitors getting shout out from our visitors. That's what's up.
That's right, Coach, my bro. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you. Hopefully the Nets win tomorrow. God only knows if we win tomorrow.
Dude, that is a different conversation for a different chat room. We know nothing about basketball, but shout out anyway.
Don't you
But I
downplay the Nets.
will.
Don't you downplay the
I'm
Nets.
I'm not downplaying anybody. I'm just saying we don't know that. We don't know. That is a totally different conversation. That's a grown folks conversation for another day and for another chat. I don't know that. But I will ask you this though, Des, if I have your attention, and then Jay to follow. Bobby and Friends versus the Final Testament. Notice how once again they did not introduce themselves as the Pride. However, Corey used the word the Pride. So I'll start with you, Des, and end with Jay. What were your thoughts on this face-to-face encounter?
Well, I think the fact that it was kind of announced to the fans like us by God knows who knows. We don't know who spilled that rumor, but the fact that Corey is just like jokingly using it is funny to me, because we all hate that goddamn name. But again, I've been someone who's been all for this rivalry between Bobby and Friends and the Final Testament. Again, as we saw tonight, Bobby and Friends were attacked by the Final Testament. It was something, that pissed the fans off. I think tonight Triple H and his team achieved what they wanted. They wanted to make sure that Bobby and Friends were the actual baby faces of the situation, and the Final Testament were the antithesis, or the AKA heels of the situation, and they were booed. And like one of you guys mentioned in our chat earlier tonight, that Bobby and Friends need to hurry up and get a woman to, you know, completely right the ship between the two teams. They're down a woman, that being Bobby and Friends. So they need to go ahead and have B-Fab join their group, because right now they're still outmanned 4-2. Excuse me, 4-3. But I'm very, very, very interested in the storyline. I think it can go far, and I yield my time to my guy Jay. Jay, go ahead, Jay.
Oh, with this segment, Jesus Christ. I don't really like the Final Testament. I'm gonna be straight up because how many times are they gonna give Karrion Cross a different type of role within the group, within just being himself? And AOP, they've been pretty much, to me, they're garbage. They're basura. I don't like them. They're not selling me on this group at all. You know, so within them fighting each other, it's just like hurry up, get it over with, because Bobby doesn't seem too interested as well. He just wants to fight, get this over with, and on to the next thing, because he already has Santos in his sights, so he's ready to get over this. I'm just not one that's for it at the moment, and I can keep it 100 with you. So I rather see Bobby and Friends move on from this. I'm not a big fan of AOP and them, so Yeah,
So
you can take your
you're not a
turn.
big fan of them separately, but we haven't seen them in a full match together as FT yet. That's what I'm waiting for.
Right.
I'm waiting to see how they work together. Can they work together under one accord? Can they complement each other? Do they have new fresh moves? Maybe they do have new things under their arsenal now that they are these new characters and that they're this new faction. Maybe they can be even more, brutal than what we have seen before. Maybe they could bring out the best in Bobby and Friends, and Bobby and Friends could do the same for them. Like I'm anticipating, really anticipating like this 3-on-3 match with them, and possibly Homegirl from FT. She would do something that would cause a woman from the audience to come out, somebody that we haven't seen in a while. She's going to come out and help out Bobby and Friends, and then eventually she would be that woman in the Bobby and Friends faction. You don't think so, Jay?
I don't think it's BFAB. I think they pushing away from it because they haven't really showed her like that in a couple of weeks. I think once Triple H have went down to TNA, and I think it's gonna be Trinity that joins the group
Well,
instead of BFAB,
I
instead of
never
her.
said BFAB. I said a woman for the audience. We don't know who it's going to be. I never said BFAB. It
No,
could
no,
be
no.
anybody. It could be anyone.
I was just thinking like because Des had mentioned that earlier about BFAB possibly joining the group. So I'm just thinking like it might not be her. I don't think it's gonna be anybody coming from the audience. I think it's gonna come straight down the ramp to help them, or just by announcement. But some way somehow I feel it's gonna be Trinity.
Well, we shall see. Moving on. Here's our homie Tristan. He has a message, and he says,
All we just need to see is one match with Bobby and Friends, see their chemistry, and see like if they can make it as a faction or not. And I guess like Cross and his group are the pedestal to see if they really gonna be good or not.
I agree with you 100%. Let's give them a chance. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. I see some of them in Royal Rumble tomorrow. In fact, it's possible we could see all of them in Rumble tomorrow. Speaking of who to see, we're definitely going to see Jimmy Uso because he drew his number tonight, and we saw the look on his face, and yeah, it tells it all. He's drawing a low number. We had two more matches tonight. The next match is a part two, I guess you can say, because these guys they fought before, and then there was like an injury that caused the match to stop. So they was able to have this rematch. Actually, thanks to Austin's best friend, where he said, "Yeah, of course, Austin, he'll come and fight you." So that's how they got this match tonight. We're talking about Austin Theory and Mello. Des, will start with you and Jay to follow because we were very like heated in the chat about this because a lot was going on after the match. So that's what say you.
Well, first off, I would love to get you guys' correction of my pronunciation of this move that Theory made. Right? If I'm not mistaken, Corey Graves called it the ataxia, but it was a move that Theory used on Mello. That was crazy to me. I was just like, what the hell was that? I've never seen it before. Clearly, it was a move that he's used prior to being on the main roster, but it was something that I was just like, wow. But the match to me was a great match. Again, uh, Theory wound up winning the match because of a cheat uh, down the line. But we saw Theory and Grayson Waller double teaming um, Mello at the end of the match. And, when you thought it wouldn't get better, here comes Trick Williams out of nowhere. His music hits. The crowd goes crazy. They're screaming, "Whoop that trick! Whoop that trick!" He gets in the ring. He takes out both Theory and Grayson Waller, and we're just like, okay, great, boom, great job. Mello is just trying to give him a fist bump, and then Trick puts his hand down and he says to him, and I quote, "I was saving you because we have a match on Tuesday," which they do. They have a tag team match on Tuesday for the Dusty Cup, and I just found that so shady. I found that shady as hell because of the fact that this is supposed to be your best friend, but yet that's what you say to him when he's trying to give you a fist bump for saving him. He's thanking you for saving him, and you're just like, I only saved you for this reason. I didn't save you because you're my best friend or anything of that nature, but I'm again, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've just been on this whole, I don't understand why Trick has been so shady to Mello. It's kind of ugly to me. I'm not liking it, and Shane's been kind of on my side with this, so I'm gonna go ahead and yield my time to Shane and Jay to continue this. Fellas, go ahead.
The reason why, wait, I'll just say this: the match was great, good match, bad ending. I didn't like how it ended, and with everything that happened preceding to it after that, what? Yo, the crowd pop was bananas for Trick, and I loved every second, literally, of it. And for the reason of what he did to Mello is, like I told y'all guys, he doesn't trust Mello. He questioned them, and he never got his answer. So if you say this is a real life situation and you never get the answer from your best friend, but then your best friend just tries to say, you know what, let's focus on this. Let's go ahead and do that. No, my guy, you never give me my answer. I'm not messing with you. I'm just gonna be here to help you. I'm gonna be here to win with you. That's about it. Other than that, bro, until I get a clear answer, I'm not trusting anything by you because we know what your clear mind is ahead of. Is the same thing that I want. Is the championship. So, you know, until like I said, until someone gets his answers, then play the role that you're playing, and you're playing it right. This is all a good work by both characters. Shane?
You're saying all of that, but I'm talking about what happened tonight. Miller had a match against Theory. Theory won. And then Theory and Waller was going to both jump him. And then Trick comes out to help him out. But for some reason, Trick was throwing shade at Mello because Mello put up his fits to say, good looking out. We did it, good looking out. And he like mushed his hand down. And I'm like, dude, why would you do that? If you were so upset as to what was going on, then why did you even run out there in the first place? Let him get his ass whooped and let him learn his lesson if that's your mentality. But you coming out with this attitude. You helped them out, and then you have this attitude in front of everybody. Like, what did you save him for yourself because you're only thinking of yourself moving forward because you know how much you need him in order to win your tag team match on Tuesday? I mean, I was really pissed off when I saw that. And Des was also. We was both pissed off by that.
Shane, exactly. Like my thing was, okay, so all of a sudden now on Friday Night SmackDown, you decide to care about your tag team matches. Like when we're on NXT on Tuesday, all your mindset is about you winning the NXT championship. So now that you show up on SmackDown, now you care about the Dusty Cup and whatnot. Like that shit is mad shady. Like I don't get it. Like I like Jay. I don't understand what you're seeing right now, bro. But like, if you're not hearing us, but it makes no sense to me whatsoever. Bro has been shading Mello week after week, especially during the Dusty Cup, and then you show up on SmackDown to save him, and then you say, "Oh, I'm only saving you because we got a tag match this Tuesday." Like, bro, is what? All of a sudden now you care about that? Like that just doesn't make sense to me at all.
My reason for that whole saying is because once he talked to John Cena and John Cena told him what he told him, bro, he has to, find himself. And he's kept that angle where he has to find himself. And y'all can say what y'all gotta say about it, because the fact is, prior to the tournament, Melo didn't really want him going into the tournament and winning the tournament because they were both in it. And when Melo lost and he won, Melo already was throwing that shade. That's what you got to see, And the fact that son got jumped is like you got to think, everything that's happening between the both of them. Now that the shots are being fired back to Melo, y'all like, damn. Well, now Melo got to take the shot. Why Melo got to take the
Don't
shots? You got to
Jay,
you got to see.
Jay,
Look,
Jay.
hold on, wait.
No, no, no,
Melo,
no, no,
hold
no,
up.
no,
Let me
no,
finish.
because
Hold up. Let me finish.
I
Wait.
said this. I said this to you. I said this to you before. I'm like, okay, because
No.
when you brought up about people talking into people's ears, I said the first thing I mentioned was the fact that the first person to talk into anybody's ear was John Cena. He talked into Trick's ear, and after that was Lexus King, and after that was Dragunov, and after that was everybody else. At the end of the day, you're proving me right. You're proving me right. It started off with John Cena.
No.
Said yes.
I'm not saying, but what I'm trying to say is y'all on the side of Melo with this. No, y'all can't be. Y'all got to think about what Trick is thinking. How Melo was already shading him off in the first place. This is what y'all wasn't watching. Melo
I
was
was
already shading him during the tournament, Melo was already shading him from the
I
jump.
was watching. Don't get me twisted with Shane. I was watching, bro. You had me watching
But you
since
got,
I've been watching.
but
I've been
but you
watching.
have seen, but you've seen the shade that Melo already had gave him from the beginning. And then when son got jumped, they were like, "What?" There was no ever answer from this guy. So if Melo's not if Melo's not giving a
Hold on,
answer
hold on, hold on.
to his boy,
Be,
you
be
could expect the
right.
guy to
Be
play his
right.
role that way.
Be right with our listeners. Did he not answer?
Oh,
No. You can grunt and everything you want. Be right with our listeners. Did he not answer, or did he didn't get a chance to answer the question? Because you played on Tuesday, the whole situation. Trick asked a question and he did not get an answer because someone else came out. Did that not happen? Like, come on, don't forget that fact. You played it for us. It's on tape
exactly. So why he never got his answer then? You
because of
got
the
to think
fact that
about that.
somebody else came out. Someone else came
Blindsided
out.
him.
You
So
forgetting
why
that part?
couldn't? Oh, over these past 2 months, he could have still told him something. Could have told him anything.
Did he ask him
Like,
again after
bro,
the past 2 months?
no,
Exactly.
no,
So
because
why am I answering a question? Why am I
Melo's
asking?
been.
Why am I answering a question
Come on,
when you don't
come
ask me
on.
the question again? Why am I answering the question and then I'm telling you, okay, it was this person? Are you forgetting the fact that Melo's been saying
Right.
from have you forgetting the fact Melo's been saying it was Dragunov this entire time? You're forgetting that part, aren't you? Because you don't mention that at all. Mention that. Say that.
Because we know it's not gonna be. We know it was different from that. It's
No, because
totally
you're not
yes.
satisfied with that answer.
Uh,
That's what it is. You're not satisfied
no,
with the answer.
it's not
He
about.
gave
It's
you an
not
answer.
about satisfying. No,
He
no, no,
gave you an
no, no.
answer. He said that the person that attacked him and that attacked Mello, that attacked Trick, was Dragunov. You're not accepting of that answer, so you want to omit that response. That's what it is.
That's you got to understand what Melo wants. So you're on Melo's side with it. You're not seeing it from Trick's perspective. You're just
But you're not
solely
seeing it.
focused on one.
It's literally two of us telling you the
You're
same
solely
thing,
focused
bro.
on one guy.
It's two
I
of
see
Well,
us.
it differently.
I'll tell you what, fellas. We are going to
Bro,
have a more definitive.
Ugh.
I'll tell you what. Yep. Go to separate bars. You go to the left, you go to the right. There's drinks there waiting for you. We will have a better idea what the situation comes Tuesday once they have their tag team match. We will see how they fight their competitor. We see how they will mesh. We see
Shane,
how they will fight, and then from there, maybe we would have more clarity as to where they are mentally.
Shane,
Yes.
I'll say this. Melo has all rights to leave Trick high and dry on Tuesday with LWO, with how he acted tonight on SmackDown, and telling him straight up that the only reason why he saved them is because they have a match on Tuesday. And any other week before that, he didn't care about the tag team tournament that they were in. He didn't care about that. All he cared about was his NXT Championship match. I have no problem with Melo leaving him high and dry on Tuesday. That's my piece.
Wow. Wow. Well, we will find out Tuesday. This conversation will definitely continue on Tuesday after that match. I know it's going to be. We have a couple of messages there that I would like to play. All right, fellas, let's calm down. Woosai. We're going to woosai first with Dream. She says.
What the Rock is cooking.
She played the Rock song for us. And shout out to the Rock and congratulations for him, for he is actually the head of the table as part of the board of TKO, and he got his name. He owns the name The Rock. You go, man. You go, man. My boy Tristan
Yo,
says,
Dez, you gotta let Triple J talk, son. Let him talk. Unmute your mic.
and he also says,
I mean, mute your mic, Dez. My fault.
hmm, hmm. Well, Des, I want you to unmute your mic by answering this question because we are now on the main event. Main event for tonight. LA Knight versus Solo. What are your thoughts on this match tonight and Jay to follow? Okay, Jay, you could start. Des, you ready?
Yeah, exactly. Because the bloodline ain't
Oh,
it's not running in my house. So I'm gonna just be quiet on this one because my bloodline is telling me to mute my mic. I'm gonna mute my mic. Go ahead.
yeah, we know he doesn't have his tag team partner for the night, so yeah, he got to get pushed to the side for a minute. Other than that, this was pretty much a preview of what's going to happen tomorrow, and you know, it is what it is already, and it's just more anticipation for me. We knew AJ was going to interfere and everything. We knew typical wrestling ends like this one is leading up to a pay-per-view, that the guys always want to beat each other up, get the last hit, get the last super move put into each other, yada 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 yada. So, you know, it was fun seeing the RKO to AJ, and then as soon as SmackDown was literally going off the air, LA Knight made sure he ended the show with the BFT. I thought that was fire, because he caught his SmackDown moment of his, his best SmackDown moment of his life right then and there by having that finisher to end the show.
We already know what's going to happen tomorrow. Roman Reigns is going to retain the championship no matter what happens. I called it weeks ago. We called it weeks ago. Um, it's going to be a situation where AJ Styles and LA Knight get occupied somewhere during the match. It's going to end up being a Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton situation, and someone from the bloodline is going to interfere as they normally do. I'd be shocked if it would be a clean win by Roman Reigns. I mean, then again, it could be a hark back to the triple threat match between Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman, where it was a clean win, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone came in and interfered in the match and Roman wins the match. At the end of the day, he will win. And that's all I got to say about that. Tristan, I'm disappointed in you. I might not invite you to Raw on Monday.
Shane, he's
That's
given up. He's given up, Shane. We
yeah.
officially got
I
body.
don't.
So we body slammed him and leg dropped him and pinned him 1, 2, 3. We beat him. The end of the show. This is the end of the show. We win. We retain
I
our
don't know
titles.
why. I don't know why. It'll be all right. The drinks is on me tonight, so it's okay. Speaking of tag team, here's Tristan. He has a message, and he
It was
says,
my thoughts on the match. It was actually a solid match. Not a banger, but a good match leading into the pay per view. And with Jimmy giving AJ the heads up, like, yo, we can become partial alliances tonight. To take out LA Knight. I thought that was clever in a way, but AJ Styles showed that it's every man for themselves. So, like, even Randy Orton coming out, it just shows each and every one of them dominance of their meaning to get.
We don't care about this comment. So, anyway, go ahead, Shane. Move on. Thank you.
"Did you really just stop the playback? Did you just stop that? Why did
I
you do that?
believe
He was mentioning some good points."
I believe I did. I don't care. Thank you very
Wait a
much.
minute. The guy, your tag team guy, this guy that you consider a tag team, you just shut him out like that?
Clearly, I was Marty Jannetty and he was Shawn Michaels, and I just got kicked in the face. So, yes, I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit. Clearly, I'm by myself.
Wow. Wow. Well, I tell you what, here's one more from him.
Wow, 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 Des. Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
That was my same exact. That was my same exact reaction when you told me to let Triple J talk or whatever the hell you said. That was my same exact reaction. So yes, you got that reaction. I got that reaction. I guess we're tied together. Yeah. Thank you.
Hmm.
Shane, back to you, bro.
I'm sure that this conversation is going to continue on Monday. Wink, wink, wink. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was SmackDown. Being that tomorrow is Royal Rumble and this is Royal Rumble Eve, I want to do this little WWE tradition where they give a couple of a couple of little facts and interesting notes containing the history of Royal Rumble. And then Des and Jay to follow. You guys can comment or you can add a fact that maybe I forgot. But this is going to be a quick list, okay? We're talking about the Royal Rumble. Tomorrow is going to be number 37. The first Royal Rumble winner is Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This is from '88, and he entered at number 13. For the women was 2018. That was Asuka. She entered at number 25. The superstar with the most wins is Stone Cold with 3, 97, 98, and 2001. Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, and Edge all tied for 2 wins. Now we have 4 superstars who entered at number 1 and won the Rumble. Shawn Michaels in 95, Chris Benoit in 2004, Edge 2021, and then the first woman, Rhea, last year. Now, in terms of eliminations in a single match, for the men, we have both Braun Strowman. Remember Braun Strowman? He and Brock Lesnar are tied at 13. For the women, we have Bianca Belair, and Shayna Baszler. They're both tied at 8. Now, the individual who's been in the Rumble the longest, of course, we all know for the men is Gunther. According to Michael Cole, he's been in there for 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 26 seconds. But on the WWE website, they say 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 40 seconds. This happened last year, 2023. Rey Mysterio did it in 1 hour and 2 minutes and 12 seconds back in 2006. For the women, of course, we have Rhea Ripley. She was in at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 8 seconds just last year. Bianca Belair, there's new best friend. She was at 56 minutes and 49 seconds in 2001. And just to put a smile on someone's face, I'm going to also mention number 3, Natalia. Natty, that's right. She comes in number 3 at 56 minutes and 1 second in
Oh,
2019,
oh,
Des.
oh, God, yeah. You
Here's
did
an
that on.
interesting note.
No.
The most appearance in a Rumble match. Kane holds that title, but here's something interesting. As Kane, 18, as a character named Isaac Yakum, it was a character before Kane. He did
Jacob.
that once. Yakum, thank you, Des. And then once as Fake Diesel. 15 appearances is by both Dolph Ziggler and Kofi, and 14 by Randy Orton. For the women, Dana Brooke, Liv Morgan, Natty, Natalia, and Tamia. These are superstars that entered all women's Royal Rumbles, and there's 6 of them. Guys, what are your thoughts on all of that I just told you? And are there any facts that I forgot? Des, to start with you, Jay to follow.
That was a hell of a lot of facts that you just mentioned, bro. I don't even know. I don't even know what the. Is there a question on this one? Because, bruh, you just flooded us with a lot of information that my brain probably can't even process right now. I think the most that I can take out of it is the fact that Shane's been in the most, and he has the most. I believe he still has the most eliminations. Correct, Shane? Does he?
I'm sorry, say it again.
I believe
What was the question?
Kane still has the most eliminations in the Royal Rumble.
That is correct. Kane has no the most eliminations in a single match in a single rumble. That's Braun Strowman and Brock at 13.
Okay, so they just beat him by 1. This
Yes.
is this is all amazing information and facts to me. It's overload, but I think it has absolutely nothing to do with tomorrow or later on today. Um, I think with this Triple H world that we live in now, where he runs everything, no record is safe. Nothing is safe these days. I don't know. Again, I don't remember if there's an actual question. Shane, do you have a question for me to answer to this?
Jay, you heard what I asked, right? Triple J, you heard what I asked for?
It's just more or less Shane asking if we have any other insight or takes, that we could probably possibly add on to what Shane is
I
saying, like maybe what he has missed.
No, I
Right.
can't tell you what you missed because I mean that sounds like everything that we
Shane was
need to.
spot on.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything that you missed with as far as Royal Rumble in the last 37 years. As far as the most wins with Stone Cold and the most, I think it's spot on. It's just something to just have in your back pocket as far as tomorrow. But I don't think anything in that realm that you mentioned will account for tomorrow. I think tomorrow we won't have a 2-time winner for Royal Rumble. That's in my realm of thinking. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, the only thing I could say is with the stuff that we got going on with Vince this week, it's crazy that it's the 25th anniversary of him winning the Royal Rumble, and also the 25th anniversary of China entering at number 30 in the men's Rumble. Those are 2 facts that happened 25 years ago that I would want to run by you guys.
You see that you answered the question, which is why I gave these facts on the eve of Royal Rumble. Because it is possible that it could be a record breaker tomorrow, or it could be the same. That's why we did it today, and that's why WWE they actually did this back on Raw. So that's why I did that today. And speaking of today,
I respect
I
it.
want to do a couple of birthday shout outs before we close out today. Are you aware that Zoe Starks is celebrating her birthday? That's Evil Gina from Martin. She turns 30. The Honky Tonk Man,
You would actually say her name?
I said Zoe Starks, aka Evil Gina. Also celebrating their birthday is the Honky Tonk Man. The Honky Tonk, considered one of the greatest intercontinental champions out there. He's 71. And Michelle McCool, remember she's a female fighter, and she's also the wife of The Undertaker. She turns 44. And today, is the boss, Sasha Banks. She turns 32 years old today. I'm going to say happy birthday to everybody that's celebrating their birthdays this week and especially today. That is our show, everyone. Des and Jay to follow. Do you have any final thoughts before we close out?
You have two messages that's inside the waiting area. I don't know who they're from, but just
Let's
want to say,
play them then. I'm sorry, let's
yeah,
play them before we close out. They're both from Tristan. He says,
uh,
Now, do y'all
of course.
think that Tamina will return tomorrow night? Because that's an interesting name that we forgot about, and that's been away from the WWE for quite a few. And also, there's a hot young superstar in AEW named MJF that might make his debut tomorrow. That's what the speculation is on. But we don't know what's going on with his contract with AEW, so it's just something to watch out for. He's supposed to be like a modern day CM Punk / Chris Jericho, you know. So if he goes to the WWE, it'd be crazy. But
That
in
that
terms of
is
main event stuff,
that is definitely something that I said to you guys in the chat earlier today. I don't know, Shane, if you ever actually got a chance to see that, but I definitely did send that to you
okay,
guys
first off, that's the second time that you cut off Tristan's playback.
earlier.
I want you to be aware of that. Like I was really listening to what he was saying, and I was
Look,
about to respond, but you
we
cut him
got
off for the second time.
we got beef right now, and it is what it is. You know, he's supposed to be my tag team partner. He's supposed to be my bloodline, my family, and he came after me. So
Oh, jeez.
Time out.
Des,
Time out.
Des,
Time out.
Des, do you have any final thoughts before we close out? I mean, do you have any more final thoughts?
Time
yes,
out. Time
yes,
out.
because we're supposed to also do. What are you timing out? What are you timing us out for, Jay? What do you got to say?
Yeah,
What do
we got a 20-second time out here because there was something that we was all discussing that we should have talked about and was like our surprise predictions or our possibilities of
you,
who's
yeah,
gonna be there or whatever. You know, I
that's
want to do this before we end the show.
that's true.
That was part of the what you have to say. Once I ran through the War Rumble, that was your time that you could have done that, and
Exactly.
also the time where I'm asking you for your final thoughts.
Thank you, Shane, because I definitely was about to get into that before he interrupted both of us. So you want to go first, Jay? Go ahead and go first. I'll be quiet.
Okay, so Jay,
No,
you go first. Then it's your
no,
final
no, 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 no,
thoughts
no,
as
no,
well as your predictions for Royal Rumble because we
no,
got to close out.
no. I am not stealing his shine. He can go. I'm being Mr. Nice Guy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Taker.
Now he wants to be quiet while I was in the middle of talking, but okay. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this. My prediction for later on today for the men's Royal Rumble. It's a lot. It's stacked. It's crazy. But my winner for the men's Royal Rumble will be. Um, I think it would have been Gunther, but the whole situation with Brock Lesnar might have changed that situation. So I'm gonna go ahead with CM Punk for the women's Royal Rumble. I'll go with Bailey, even though I don't think that she will win, but I'm sticking with my boo. Obviously, we already know that Roman Reigns will retain the WWE Universal Championship, and I also think that Logan Paul somehow, some way, will retain the U.S. Championship. So those are my predictions for the Jay.
Well, my predictions for tomorrow for the men's side, I'm still keeping my guy Gunther just because he was runner up last year. And for the women, I'm still gonna keep my thoughts on Nia Jax with the wild card being Asuka. And like when I was just thinking like anniversaries or where they're at, a few surprises that come up to my head, like they're in Tampa. I wouldn't be too surprised, like say McAfee comes in the Rumble, or maybe Gronk comes in the man's Rumble. Maybe a Bad Bunny sighting. Wouldn't be too surprised, like we talked about X Pac. Also, I wouldn't be too surprised if Uncle Howdy came into this Royal Rumble. You know, that's someone somebody's not not too many people talking about. MJF rumblings are going on. You know, maybe Matt Cardona is another guy who could probably show face because we know his wife Chelsea Green is on the Raw side of things, so we can keep an eye on that. I also think since Rhea doesn't have anything to do tomorrow, I think on this anniversary of China being the 25 years anniversary of her being number 30, I think Rhea draws number 30 tomorrow night for the men's side of things. And I wouldn't be too surprised with
Why?
women. Why? Because it's an anniversary. You never know. She doesn't have nothing to do tomorrow. Only one main champion has something to do tomorrow. So I wouldn't put it out a character to actually go out there and commemorate the time. Maybe this is Plan C for throwing Brock out the way. You feel me? Maybe this is the Plan C that they was going with. That's my thought on it. So shout out to everyone that's been listening all night. Bless everybody,
Hey,
and
Triple
let's get
J.
this Royal. Whoa.
Yeah, quick fact because you didn't mention who was going to win with the 4-way and the Logan Paul and KO.
Right. He's sitting here trying
I'm
to end the
sorry. I'm sorry.
trying
Because he was talking about 30. You literally said like
right,
30 people.
right.
I
He's sitting there
will,
trying
man.
to end the damn podcast.
Sorry.
Because I'm
Like,
jotting
bro,
this
come on.
down, so I need your answers for that.
I think Logan Paul retains,
Okay.
and I think as well. But within that match, one of his cronies are gonna help him win. One of his prime homies, or maybe his brother. That's my best bet that his brother does it to screw him, try to help him win. So even with Roman's retaining hands down. We already know. And yeah, that's probably the only matches. There's not many matches tomorrow night
Yes, it's only
Yeah,
four.
that's literally it. It's literally four.
for
Let's play
about
these.
3.5 hours.
Yeah, because each rumble should be about an hour, close like a little over an hour for the men and for the women, touching an hour, if not an hour and 1 minute. Let's play these last two notes before we close out.
It's CM Punk and it's Oscar. Book it.
And
Roman Reigns is winning, and I think that Logan Paul will finally prove himself by beating a real wrestler like Kevin Owens. So, yeah.
very interesting. And I'm actually agreeing with Jay because those are my guys also: Gunther, Nia, Logan, and Roman. Everyone, that was a very interesting show. Probably the most interesting show that I've ever hosted. Thank you so much to Destaker, aka Mondes Ford, aka Des, aka Mundo, aka, and also thank you Triple J, the cool for school guy. I'd like to thank you so much also. Please join us tomorrow where we are doing a recap of Royal Rumble, hosted by, of course, our AKA guy Des himself. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Have an awesome weekend, and we will see you tomorrow night. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow, 15 minutes after Royal Rumble ends. Deuces. Deuces.
Shout out to everybody on here that's been listening all this time. God bless, and see y'all tomorrow for the Rumble recap. Yeet.
No, you.